It's Friday. We're just hanging out. This trend is not breaking. So what I'm looking at on NASDAQ, and I'll zoom in here. So this is what I've been doing. For me, for NASDAQ, and as you guys know, I've been mostly trading NASDAQ futures for day trades. Right here, every time it gets above the 200-day, so this purple line here is the 200-day moving average. It's got rejected here now 4 times since in February. So like for me, it's hard for me to go long when we're below the 200-day moving average. I mean, it's just like, for me, it just is. I don't know about you guys, but it's hard for me to go long. So I've been making some money going short, sure. But yeah, I mean, it's still go long. Right now, what's very telling, it rejected the 200-day and now it's under the 10-day moving average. The Fed is having, I tweeted about this yesterday and I put it in the Discord and Facebook group, where the Fed is actually having a closed door meeting on Monday. And I'm guessing, I mean, we don't really know, but we had the CPI came out 7.5%, which, I mean, we know inflation is up there right now. So they're having a closed door meeting. We'll kind of see what happens. I mean, are they going to do like an emergency raise rate hike? I don't know. I don't know. But right now the market, I mean, what I'm looking at, who cares about the noise? Look at the chart, right? And everyone seems to think that we're going to be rallying back to all-time highs. But like for me, the longer you're below the 200-day moving average, the more likely that there's a major correction on the way. Sure. Do I believe we can rally? Sure. I mean, bear markets have massive rallies. And we've seen it already. I mean, this was a nice rally here from, 13.8 up to 15.1, 15.2. Gave it, it hasn't given it all back, but it's not, I mean, right now it's not looking strong. I mean, it's not looking strong. And, everyone's like, as soon as you see a green candle, it's, oh yeah, it's a bounce. Like right now it is a short the rip environment. Sure, if you want to start stacking and averaging your long-term portfolio, do what you need to do, right? Do what you think's fit. But for me, as a trader, I'm trading what I see here, and what I see here is we have NASDAQ rejected. Right now, NASDAQ has rejected the 200-day moving average 4 times in February and is now below the 10-day moving average. We were coasting above it, but now we're below. Could we have a reversal? Absolutely. But we need, what you don't want to have is start having some death cross here. And what I mean by death cross, if you don't know what a death cross is, when the 50-day, which the 50-day is this yellow line, the 50-day is coming down to the purple line, which is the 200-day. So if the 50-day crosses the 200-day, then it's gonna have a death cross. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the market's going down, but that, I mean, that's not a good thing when the 50-day is going to cross the 200-day to the downside. Carmine, yes, I am pushing that out. As you can see, I'm getting back into content mode. There's going to be an update to the UVH Academy for futures. Also, there's going to be an update to the UVH Academy pertaining to day trading and risk management. So there's going to be more than just futures that I'm going to be adding to that. So there's a lot more that I'm going to be pushing out for the people that are in the academy like yourself. So that's what I'm looking at right now in terms of the market. I mean, I'm not looking to get long. I'm not looking to short it to zero, right? All I'm looking for is to trade the trend and take my money and leave. And as you guys see, like in the Discord, when I post my profits, I mean, that's all I'm doing. I'm just getting in for a very short time, taking my money, zeroing out, making sure I'm zeroed out before the end of the day, trying to relax, whether I make money or lose money that day. try to zero out. Don't try to hold overnight. Because like in this market, I mean, you don't know. Like we had gap ups and we had a major gap down. And then, I mean, right now we actually opened flat, and this thing is just dying. Right now we have slowed down a lot. But if we're looking at, VXX and looking at VXX, steady uptick here as this is having a steady downtick. Apple's relatively flat. Microsoft's kind of flat. I mean, the ones that got hit hard today, like AMD took a beating, down 5.5%. Nvidia right now, Nvidia is down almost 4%. AFRM is down 16%, and that is after the fact it went from yesterday 83 to 53 because some moron leaked the earnings on Twitter, right? But at the same time, you can't, people, I was looking on Twitter, a lot of people were very mad about AFRM, right? About that being leaked. But bro, if you're trading this close into earnings, you got to be able to expect anything can happen. If you're holding something, I mean, this thing didn't come out till the afternoon, like power hour, right? Like right before power hour, didn't come out. Like if you think, if your calls went to zero, like that's your fault. Like why are you holding it to the end, man? Like, and let's be fair. If you were holding calls hoping for a big payout, just because something went down doesn't mean it's going back up. Yes, this went down. That's everybody's strategy these days. It's like, oh, this used to be a $200 stock. Now it's $25. It'll go back up. Will it? AFRM in November hit 176. This was not even a year ago. 176. Now is 48.86. So I think a lot of people are finding out in trading, and we're going to talk about this a lot on this channel. Your strategy cannot be if something goes down, it's going to go back up. That's not what we're doing anymore. That's not what we're doing anymore. Let's take a look at Netflix. Another good example. Netflix. It went from 700 to 350. 50% off. Everyone's like, oh, it's 50% off. Yeah, well, have you seen the stock 80% off? 90% off? I mean, a lot of people didn't live through the dot-com bubbles or the 2008 recession. And that's okay. Like you're not going to have that exposure. But what you can do, go back in time, because we have all this data, look at the charts before those bubbles happened, right? And now we have, the biggest issue right now that we have is inflation. And that is going to, but everyone's like, oh, they're going to be raising rates. Everyone's like, okay, well, Netflix will raise rates, McDonald's, Starbucks, you name it. Everyone's raising rates. Microsoft, Amazon, everyone's raising rates. Prime's going up. But all that does is provide less buying power to the American, right? So Americans have less buying power, which means their revenues are going to go down. Which means their stock's going to go down. And everyone's like, well, earnings are still good. Yeah, last quarter. What about next quarter? What about the one after that? I mean, and the thing is like, bear markets and stuff like that. And if you talk to, I mean, I definitely encourage you to talk to traders that lived through or traded through like 2008, 2000, 2001, 90s, all like good times, bad times, and in between. Find some traders. And a lot of them, I'll be honest with you, a lot of them like to tell stories and they like to invest in young people. Talk to them and be like, hey, what was it like in 2007? What was it like in 1999? What was it like in 2001 or 2000? What was it like in 2005, 2015, What was it like? Right? And what you'll find is like the grind down. I mean, sure, we're moving fast right now, but it could be a slowly painful process to the bottom, which could take a lot of time. So I'm not trying to like scare anything. I'm just trying to be realistic where if you're having a 50% correction, possibility is going to be high for more. You know, everyone got excited when 350 to 450. We had like a dead cat bounce. But now, Bill Ackman clenching cheeks, bro. Like he's like, I mean, made a wrong move, right? Now, I'm not saying like he's got a very long-term hold, but just because a big trader goes in, like Bill Ackman or Warren Buffett or Kathy Wood, doesn't mean they're right. And their time frame may not be your time frame. As a small retail trader, our time frames are often very short because we don't have the capital to hold on as long as they do. Nor do we want to. And we're not managing clients' money, we're managing our own money. But yeah, Jason, Facebook, I mean, Facebook, I think, is a very a heartbreaker because in a lot of ways, you know, we had a steady uptrend for a while, and then when you look to see here, we kind of had consolidation. Sure, it was kind of starting to get topped out, but consolidation's good. Consolidation is good for long-term markets. But wait, Facebook reports like, hey, we actually had a decline in users. It doesn't matter how many billions Facebook made. If their platform is declining, we're looking towards the future, right? We're not looking at what happened in the past. So if they're losing users to TikTok, their profits are going to decline over time. The revenue is going to decline over time. And it's why they made a big stink about like, oh, hey, we're not Facebook, we're Meta now. Because the writing is on the wall. They know what's happening here. They're not dumb. But when they have a big machine like this, they can't like maneuver it like you can like a small business or something. You can't just automatically pivot and be like, oh, we're going to turn Facebook into something else. Because they still make billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars from Facebook and Instagram. It's not like it doesn't make money. It's just not making as much money as it was before. And they're going to still make money, just maybe not as much money as they did before. Maybe TikTok is going to make more money than them. You know, maybe, who knows? Maybe something else will come out. Snapchat. You know, Snapchat actually did pretty good, right? Maybe Snapchat will try it, but I mean, Snapchat's looking rough too. However, I mean, they did perform better on earnings, but yeah, it's just not going well. Yeah, PayPal. I mean, PayPal, it's a massacre. You're like, I don't understand why they're not doing good. Square. So, I mean, our strategy cannot be because something went down. Like when Square went from 289 or 200 down to 180, everyone's like, oh, I'm going to buy it. Nothing but pain. Nothing has happened but pain. It does look like, every time it looks like it leveled out here, more pain. Looks like it's leveling out here, went sub 100. I don't know. Like right now, I think we're very early in a cycle where, you know, we're potentially going to have more pain ahead. I mean, Robinhood, like, I know Robinhood's not a good example, but IPOs, I mean, this thing hit a penny stock a few days back, and it's barely hanging on. Barely hanging on. DraftKings. I mean, you have weed stocks. I mean, we're in a mess right now. I mean, Amazon bounced hard, right? But bro, it does not look good. Does not look good. I'm not trying to make a case for the bear or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you how I'm looking at the market right now. I want to rally and recover, but the odds are against us. Unless you're Sylvester Stallone, I mean, it's going to be a tough time. it's going to be a tough time to fight back here. I mean, this could be bad. This could be bad. And so far, as of today, which is what? February 11th, 2022, the Fed has not lifted a finger to rectify anything, right? They have not raised rates. They're still pumping the market with the money. So we're going to have, I think 2022 is going to be a violent year to both sides. You know, upside, downside, but we're going to probably go down more. Then we roll into 2023. And do you guys know what happens in 2023? Election season starts. Election season is going to start in 2023, and we're going to, you know, I'm thinking it's going to be the Trump and Biden show again. Because it appears Trump is ramping up. He's launching his own social media thing this month or next month. Truth Social. Because he's still banned on Facebook and Twitter. So it's gonna be insane. 2023 is gonna be insane. We're gonna have Trump going up against Grandpa Joe, and it's gonna be the battle of the senior citizens. You know, I mean these guys are hitting 80. You know, one more election, they're at 80, right? How much gas you got in the tank at 80? So we got the old guys slugging it out, fighting for our democracy, fighting for our future, and only one can win. So 2022, we're going to be choppy. 2023, we got election season. 2024 is, the election. So, meanwhile, the Fed is going to be trying to control the inflation fire, going to be trying to control everything that is going on right now. Get it under control. But right now it's out of control because what's happening is inflation's going up. They're like, oh, wages are going up. Yes. But then everybody else, like, Starbucks and Microsoft, Amazon, they're raising rates. It's an endless cycle. Wages go up, prices go up until you have a hyperinflation issue, and that's like what they're trying to control. Even though they have not lifted a single finger yet. They're like, I think, I honestly think like Powell has been in denial. And that's just my personal opinion. Like, I think Powell has been in denial. Like, he's just like, I think it'll fix itself. Because we've had inflation for a year. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Oh, 7.5% highest since 1982. Shoot. Oh, guys, sorry, I messed up. But once you get up there, it gets harder to control. It's better. They should have tried to do something when it was like 3, 4, 5. Now we're 7. After 7 comes 10. I mean, you get the idea. we're getting effed up here. And it's just gonna be a lose. It's gonna be a losing scenario for what? So, stop making video games. What market? Yeah, I don't care. I make content when I want to make content, bro. This is what it is. This is the transcript link to UVH. Adele, I don't know. So, that's kind of where we're at right now. That's kind of where I see the market. I think we're gonna have a good time though. We're gonna have a good time. UVH is gonna have a good time. I'll stop ranting. This was like a major rant. Gonna chop up and try to help some people out. But I mean, you guys have a good weekend. I'm gonna sign off here. See what we do. See what kind of content we push out next week. As always, stay safe, stay strong. It's us versus herd.